Local Self-Government Rural Civics Chapter 5. Local self-government is already studied in one of the history chapters of the Cholas, where the Cholas happened to be the good administrators and they believed in local self-government. That is, each individual would be managing the affairs of the locality or would be participating to manage the affairs of the locality, and no government officials will be required for it. So local self-government is also, like can be told as or referred as an institution which comprised locally elected representatives who manage the affairs of the locality and provide them with the basic amenities. This institution forms a very important part of the three-tier system of the government. The three-tier system of the government that we already know as the Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti and the Zilla Parishad, as we are dealing in this chapter with the rural sector. So the rural self-governing bodies come down as Gram Panchayat, that is at the village level, Panchayat Samiti at the block level, which is next to villages, number of villages together, they form the blocks. So Panchayat Samiti, and then finally number of blocks together, they form the district, and therefore the Zilla Parishad is what at the district level in the three-tier system of Panchayati Raj. Gram Panchayat is at the village level where people who wanted to become the members of the Panchayat need to acquire some qualification, and there are some reservations. Now, the person, those who can become members are the one has to be attaining 21 plus years of age, should have been a registered voter of the constituency, which we have already learned in the previous chapter of elections. What do you mean by the constituency and the voters? Like all those who are eligible to cast their vote are known to be voters, and their names need to be registered in the voters list, so we call them to be the registered voter of the constituency. The person needs to be mentally sound, should not be a convict or criminal, should not be disqualified under any law made by state or union legislature, and should not be holding any office of profit under Government of India. So all these are the qualifications that one acquires, and with this can become a member of Gram Panchayat. Apart from these qualifications, there are some seats which are reserved for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe as well as women. So they too can become a member of this Gram Panchayat. What does this Gram Panchayat actually do at the village level? That is, what are its functions? Its functions have been categorized under 4 different categories: civil facilities and welfare functions, developmental functions, regulatory and general administrative functions, and judicial functions, or which we call or know as Nyay Panchayat. Under the first category falls provision of or providing the primary and secondary education in the villages, that is, building up of the school buildings and providing the village and the children of the villages with primary and secondary education. Then building good roads, footpaths, drainage, proper drainage system and street lights, etc. Then welfare programs to be organized for expectant mothers and their babies in order to make them aware about the pros and cons, and the welfare programs are also organized for women and children and the youth. Safe drinking water needs to be provided, proper well and tanks should be established. Apart from all this, health centers and dispensaries are also one of the important functions under this category. The second category deals with the functions that are helpful in developing a particular panchayat, that is irrigation and electrification of that panchayat or village, developing cottage and some sort of any other small scale industry, then rural housing, that is, housing is to be provided especially to the poor and the needy, and some vocational education should be provided to the people or the children of the village or the Gram Panchayat. The third category falls in as a regulatory and general administrative functions, where registration of births, deaths, and marriages are to be properly checked and recorded. Maintenance of watch and ward services, that is security services we can say. So chowkidars, maintenance and appointment of the chowkidars, and so. Then maintenance of the village's common property which is commonly used by the villagers, so that has to be maintained, helping the government to maintain proper law and order in the territory or within the panchayat. Finally, we have some judicial functions, where comes the Nyaya Panchayat, which provides for an inexpensive and speedy justice to villagers. Here Panchayat may act as a court or may set up a Nyaya Panchayat, that is a body of a few members who will be giving away with the justice or doing away with the matter. Secondly, it handles only petty civil cases. Now these cases be like petty theft, property, cheating, assault, trespassing, etc. So all these cases, they fall under the jurisdiction of the Nyaya Panchayat. Nyaya Panchayats have no power to imprison or to sentence a person to death. Their limitation is till levying fines, that too till rupees 1000. Up to rupees 1000 they can levy a fine amount on the victim, on the criminal in case. Next we have, so this is all about the village level Gram Panchayat, and then we have the next level, that is the block level. Block level is something where a number of villages together, that means a number of Gram Panchayats together are combined and coordinate. This is an intermediate body which coordinates basically activities of all the village panchayats in each block. This particular samiti is again given different names in different states. For example, in UP it's known to be the Kshetra Samiti, and Gujarat it is known as Taluka Panchayat, and MP as Janpada. But for Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar and Odisha, it's commonly known as Panchayat Samiti. Here in the slide you can see a circle, a big circle, blue in color, and one single alphabet A written out, having 3 inner circles with 3 other different alphabets. So this depicts that the bigger circle is the Panchayat Samiti, and the inner circles they will hold as the Gram Panchayat. So you can see here 2 to 3 Gram Panchayats together, they form this Panchayat Samiti. Functions of Panchayat Samiti are again categorized under different heads, where same civil facilities, civic facilities and welfare functions, supervisory functions and delegated functions. The civil facilities and welfare functions of the Panchayat Samiti goes like provision of rural health program, like time to time there must be health awareness programs to be conducted, then supplying of water to the entire rural area, social welfare such as improving status of women, children and welfare of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, setting up of Anganwadis, supporting agriculture, animal husbandry and fisheries, employing the people of the rural area, and development of cottage, handloom, handicraft or village industry. So these come under the civic facilities. Under the supervisory function, it needs to be supervising the work of the Gram Panchayats who are under it. As we saw, 2 to 3 Gram Panchayats make together a Samiti. Therefore, its job becomes, one of its function is to supervise the work of these Gram Panchayats that are that fall under its jurisdiction. Examining the budget of Gram Panchayat, exercising control over the functioning of the BDO and his assistants. So since it's in the block level, there is an officer who is appointed as the BDO, that's a Block Development Officer, along with his assistants. Some of the members, they are his assistant. So they need to, this control is to be exercised over the functioning of the BDO. And roads, bridges, and higher education, hospitals, and drinking water, and etc., are to be taken care of. And provision for all this has to be taken care of. Delegated functions of Panchayat Samiti is what the fourth category. Now, under delegated functions, it says about serving as a link between Gram Panchayat and Zilla Parishad. So, it's the one which delegates the functions as serving as a link. Then to coordinate a number of centrally sponsored schemes with funds shared on the 50-50 basis between the center and the state. IRDP, which is known to be Integrated Rural Development Program, is one such major program of the government till now. State governments have to assign functions to the district agencies, and then these district agencies assign functions to the Panchayat Samitis. So Panchayat Samitis are the intermediate body, we can say. They are a link between the Zilla Parishad and the Gram Panchayat, and that's what it wants to say to be the link. Improve overall quality of life in rural areas. So all in all, the functions of the Panchayati Samiti somewhere or the other also deals with improving overall quality of life in rural areas. We then come to the apex committee or body under the three-tier Panchayati Raj system, known to be the Zilla Parishad, which is at the district level. This Parishad coordinates various activities among the various Panchayat Samitis, and once again here I'll ask you to look into the circle, the figure given out there, and you have some new circles which are yellow in colored and numbered as 1, 2 and 3. So each circle, which in the earlier slide we had referred to be the Panchayat Samiti, now has got a Gram Panchayat in it. So in one circle you can see two yellow circles with number 1 and 2. That means that particular Panchayat Samiti has got 2 Gram Panchayats or 2 villages, and rest of the 2 circles, they have 3 each. So the yellow circles are the Gram Panchayat at the village level. The white circles with the alphabets in it are the Panchayat Samiti, and the blue circle with one single alphabet of A is the Zilla Parishad. Now again, Zilla Parishad is called as Mokhuma Parishad in Assam and District Development Council in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So anyways, whether even if the name differs, it hardly matters to us. Now the functions of Zilla Parishad. And what are the functions that Zilla Parishad has to take upon? Now again, this function remains, the category remains the same, but then what falls under the category, that is important to be noted out. So here in the civic facilities and welfare functions, Zilla Parishad, it takes care about the maintenance and construction of roads and bridges throughout the district. It develops land, water, human resources of the district. It builds library, hospitals, dispensaries, educational institutions, etc. in the district, and provides relief during emergencies and to promote welfare schemes for weaker sections of society. Okay. So to look into the first category, we are done with the civic facilities, that is maintaining and constructing the roads and developing the land, water, human resource, and building up the library, and then providing relief during emergencies. We move on to coordination and supervisory functions of Zilla Parishad, where here in the picture you can see it depicts about how to peep into, and it's supervising. This is called supervising. It's being supervised. So proper coordination and supervision are some of the functions here. That is, it supervises the work of Panchayat Samitis under it. So Zilla Parishad, which is at the district level, comprises of number of Samitis, Panchayat Samitis coming from the various blocks. So that needs to be supervised by this particular organ, or we can say the category, Zilla Parishad. Then it examines the budget of the Panchayat Samitis. Now here its job is to examine the budget of Panchayat Samiti that has been come up for the developmental programs. Then the government promotes e-governance in order to monitor the functioning of Panchayat Samiti. The last category is about advisory and financial functions of the Zilla Parishad. Well, we do have a development function also. So advisory and financial functions, as the name suggests, they advise the state government. The Zilla Parishads, they advise the state government for with regards to the needs of the people. They make the government aware about what are the needs of the people, so that accordingly things can be arranged for. And then under financial functions, Zilla Parishad receives funds from either a union or the state government, which is again distributed by it to the different or various Panchayat Samitis. Developmental functions again go as irrigation, electrification to be looked after of the entire district, and developing of industries in the district and giving proper employment opportunities is again one of the most important function here as a developmental function. Public housing and introducing programs in order to or with respect to removing poverty falls in as the one of the most important of the functions. Now all these functions have been just briefed out in a tabular form here. You can see with a proper distinction of the Gram Panchayat, that is in the village level, Panchayat Samiti at the block level, and the Zilla Parishad at the district level. There are near about 5 points for each of the system, 3-tier system of the government. So children, this is all about your chapter of local self-government rural according to your new revised ICSE syllabus, and see you again with the next video, the next chapter. Thank you.